The morning was quiet, just another chilly Tuesday in the city, until a desperate voice broke through the noise. "Please." "I can't walk," whispered a trembling woman, lying helplessly on the sidewalk beside her fallen wheelchair. Most people walked by, eyes fixed on their phones, pretending not to see. But one man stopped, a single dad with tired eyes, grease-stained hands, and a heart far bigger than his wallet. He didn't know it yet, but helping that stranger would change both their lives forever. Hey everyone, welcome back to your channel name, where we share real, powerful stories about the kindness that still exists in our world. If you believe compassion can change lives, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us spread hope to more hearts around the world. Now, let's dive into today's story. Ethan was a single dad trying his best. At 35, his days started before dawn and ended long after dark. He worked 2 jobs, one at a repair shop, another delivering groceries, to keep a roof over his 6-year-old daughter's head. Life hadn't been kind lately. His wife, Melissa, had passed away 3 years ago from cancer, leaving him to raise little Emma alone. Some nights, Ethan would sit by the kitchen table, staring at unpaid bills and whispering promises to his daughter that everything would be okay, even when he wasn't sure how. That Tuesday morning, Ethan was late for his shift. His truck had broken down again, and every minute he lost meant less pay for rent. He jogged through the busy downtown streets, clutching his toolbox and muttering prayers under his breath. That's when he heard it, a faint cry, almost lost beneath the roar of traffic. "Please, help me. I can't walk." He turned around and saw her, a woman sprawled on the cold concrete near a toppled wheelchair. Papers and a designer handbag were scattered beside her. Her face was pale, and pain etched every line of it. Without hesitation, Ethan dropped his toolbox and rushed to her side. "Ma'am, are you okay?" he asked, gently kneeling beside her. Her voice trembled. "My chair slipped on the curb. My legs, they're paralyzed. I can't move." Ethan's heart tightened. People were staring from a distance, some whispering, but no one stepped forward. He looked at the busy street, cars rushing, strangers pretending not to notice, and felt a spark of anger. "Don't worry," he said softly. "I've got you." He lifted the woman carefully, setting her back into the wheelchair and picking up her belongings. The woman's eyes glistened with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. "Most people just walk past." Ethan smiled kindly. No one should be left lying on the ground. She introduced herself as Lydia, and though she tried to hide it, Ethan noticed her hands trembling, not from fear, but exhaustion. He offered to push her to the nearby cafe so she could rest. Inside, he ordered her a cup of tea, though he could barely afford his own lunch, and sat quietly across the table as she regained her breath. The silence was gentle, filled with unspoken understanding. "You're very kind," Lydia said finally. "You didn't even ask who I was." Ethan shrugged. "Didn't need to. You needed help, that's enough." She looked at him curiously. "You're not from around here, are you?" He chuckled. "Just trying to get by. My little girl's waiting at home. I fix cars, deliver groceries, whatever pays the bills." Something in his simple honesty touched her deeply. Lydia wasn't just any woman, she was the CEO of a major tech company in the city. But lately, her life had felt empty despite the success. She had money, luxury, and power, but not genuine kindness. Not until now. As they talked, Ethan shared small pieces of his life, how Emma loved drawing rainbows on their old refrigerator, how he missed his wife every day, and how sometimes he wished the world was a little softer. Lydia listened silently, her heart swelling with both sadness and admiration. She saw something rare in him, humility and goodness, the kind of light money couldn't buy. Before leaving, she asked for his number. "Just in case I can ever return the favor," she said with a warm smile. Ethan chuckled. "No need. Just take care of yourself." A week passed. Ethan forgot about the encounter, too busy juggling bills and bedtime stories. But one Friday evening, as he arrived home from work, a sleek black car pulled up in front of his small apartment. Lydia stepped out, dressed simply this time, holding a small gift bag. Emma, curious as always, peeked from behind her dad's leg. "Ethan," Lydia greeted, her smile genuine. "I hope I'm not intruding." He was stunned. "Miss Lydia? You didn't have to." She handed him the bag. Inside was a brand new laptop and a handwritten note, "For Emma, so she can dream big." Ethan's voice cracked. "You didn't have to do this." Lydia looked around the modest apartment behind him, the peeling paint, the small couch, the warmth of family despite the struggle. "You helped me when you didn't have to. I wanted to do something kind in return." That evening, Lydia stayed for dinner. She laughed as Emma showed her crayon drawings and proudly announced she wanted to be an artist. For the first time in months, Ethan saw real joy in his home again. After that night, Lydia began visiting often. She'd join Ethan and Emma for simple dinners, or they'd meet at the park on weekends. Despite their differences, one from luxury, one from hardship, they found something genuine in each other, understanding. One Sunday, as they watched Emma chase butterflies near the pond, Lydia confessed softly, "Before I met you, I'd forgotten what kindness felt like. Everyone around me only wanted something, from my company, my name, my money. But you gave without expecting anything back." Ethan smiled. "You reminded me that kindness still matters." As weeks turned into months, their bond grew stronger. Lydia sponsored a small scholarship fund in Emma's name and secretly arranged for Ethan's repair shop to get new contracts. When he discovered it was her doing, he protested, but she simply said, "Kindness deserves a ripple." Then one day, Lydia called him in tears. "Ethan, they're trying to remove me from my position at the company. They say I'm too soft, that I care too much." He met her eyes with calm determination. "Then prove them wrong with kindness. Show them that caring isn't weakness." Inspired by his words, Lydia faced her board the next morning. Instead of fighting with anger, she spoke about leadership with compassion, how a company's strength came from its humanity. Her speech went viral online. She kept her position, but more importantly, she changed her company's entire culture. Months later, she launched a new foundation helping people with disabilities find accessible jobs. She named it the Emma Project, after the little girl who had reminded her what hope looked like. A year after that fateful morning, Ethan, Lydia, and Emma stood together at the opening of the foundation's new center. Reporters snapped photos, but Ethan didn't care about fame. He just smiled, watching Lydia beam with pride as Emma cut the ribbon with tiny, excited hands. When the ceremony ended, Lydia turned to him and whispered, "You changed everything that day." Ethan shook his head. "No, Lydia. You did. You just needed someone to remind you what kindness can do." Tears welled in her eyes as she smiled, a smile no longer burdened by loneliness or pride, but filled with gratitude. And that's how one act of simple kindness on a cold morning turned strangers into family, pain into purpose, and loneliness into love. Because sometimes, the smallest good deed can start the biggest change. You never know whose life you'll touch, or how they might change yours in return. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to your channel name. Tell us in the comments, when was the last time someone showed you kindness? Or when did you help someone without expecting anything back? Remember, kindness costs nothing, but it can change everything. Until next time, keep your heart open, and keep spreading kindness.